Hey, you guys. So, rewinding back to Shasta, Mount Shasta time, we're going to talk a little bit about Will's kidney infection that he's currently healing and awareness surrounding that topic.
Yeah, so I decided to hop in my car and go to Arizona. And when I did that, I lost access to a refrigerator, which means I lost access to storing food of like a higher quality and a more like a higher amount, I guess I would say, because I had a little cooler. And I went to Phoenix and was eating a lot of acidic foods, fruits, things that I didn't know were acidic in that, and started having these UTI infections, kidney infections. They just thought it was from the heat, needing more water, that sort of thing. Didn't think it was diet related at all. And we went to Shasta. I was fine. And then at some point in Shasta, I want to say a few days in, I had eaten some food I probably shouldn't have eaten, and I just ended up with this really bad kidney infection, bladder infection that just came on super quick. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it got to the point where I was having trouble walking, and so Bailey ended up. We left the vendor room at one point, and I was like, I just need to get out of here, and laid down and did light language on me.
Yeah. And like, it's okay for all of us to have acidic foods. I think Will was consuming a large
Oh,
quantity.
the one night in Shasta before Bailey got there, I ate by myself like a bag of the cutie oranges, the mango
Yeah.
oranges. It's a little too much.
Yeah. Instead of a couple, the spirit wanted me to clarify that. Acidity in food's fine. It's about balance. And when you come to the desert, it's very easy to reach for those citrusy acidic foods basically because you think, oh, I just need water-based fruits and vegetables to, feel good out here. But obviously with your living situation, it's a little more limited to whatever fits in the cooler,
Yeah.
is what it takes. And if something doesn't have to be in the cooler, that's even more ideal, right? So like the cuties were perfect. But anyway, when we were in Shasta, Will did amazing. He was really, really showing up everywhere, talking to a lot of people. And then out of nowhere, he's just like, my pain is back and I need to get out of here. And it was just a, a really bad flare up. And we thought at the time it was related to his UTI. And back when that happened, I told him, hey, listen to the sound frequency for UTI, start drinking celery juice to purify the system, and so on. But this time, Spirit urged me in a very demanding way, go lay him down outside and do a light language transmission. So on the last day of the event, I pulled him to the side and I performed a very thorough light language transmission on him. Imagine it to be like energetic surgery. It was like gloves on, going in deep on Will. And instantly I heard kidney infection, kidney infection. I was brought awareness that he had too high acidity in his diet. So they said highly acidic diet, kidney infection. I'm just remembering right now, asking Spirit what is important to share. They're reminding me that they pointed out the kidney meridian and the importance of talking to on an energetic level that meridian and working with it. So this means on the bottom of the foot, we've got different pressure points. And I am not trained in this in any way. This was just Spirit guiding it. And Spirit was telling me where to press. So for anybody that's dealing with kidney issues, lower back pain, kidney stones, this is why we're doing this video. Massage the feet, get into reflexology, massage the feet, press the point that triggers the kidney meridian on the base of the foot. And know that the meridian, so imagine this is a foot, that pressure point is connects to this energetic line that goes all the way up the leg. So I'm mimicking the leg right now. And it goes all the way up the body in connection to the kidneys. And Spirit was saying, work on that to encourage the body to flush out the system. They're also bringing up, we worked on his brain a lot, his neural pathways. So this means that we strengthen the neural pathways to direct energy to the pain point, so that way he could bring ease to his own system, because we're actually very capable of easing our own systems. It just takes a lot of thought power, a lot of programming, reprogramming, to be able to do that. But you can just, like, with the power of the brain, the heart, and with activating those meridians, you can begin to just self cleanse. Then Spirit advised me that Heather, one of the hosts of the Mount Shasta event, Heather, so gracious, so beautiful, I absolutely loved Heather, is an herbal medicine woman as one of her many gifts, and that she had something for Will, and we needed to find her.
Yeah, and she wasn't at the event. She was tied up with some stuff. We found her daughter, who said that, hey, yeah, we have a tea for that. And this was during a time where I had called Bailey. This is like a day after she did the light language, and I go, hey, I just need to leave. I Every time people entered the room, my kidneys would flare, and I'd have trouble standing. Like, it was getting to the point that other people's energy was affecting my ability to even be present or anything, or stand or and all that. And at that time, we had met two other people. I'm not going to use their names on here because I don't know if they're actually aware of what happened, but we had met two other beautiful people, souls there, that helped later on. And at the end of the event, I was walking around. We were leaving. Callie, Heather's daughter, brought us to the table, gave us this kidney tea, and said, "Hey, we don't really bring this with us normally." And Spirit just kind of nudged them to bring it, apparently. And we were like, "Oh, that's because I was coming in, and Spirit knew this was gonna happen. This was gonna be a thing." So uh, after that, we took off from the event, and one of my things was, I was like, I don't care how much pain I'm in. We're going to the mountain. So I took her up to the mountain, and we uh, spent some time doing some experience work up there, and just kind of like I hobbled around very, very painfully, and drank the tea while we were doing this. And the tea started helping really quickly, started clearing things, helping with the pain, that sort of thing. And then as time went on, what was I eating? We were drinking kombucha. And,
So, so after we got that direction, we were guided to Heather, and Heather had, her daughter had this kidney tea with key herbal ingredients, that flush out the system for bladder infection, kidney, and liver function as well. Very, very potent and powerful creation. It's under pure, what is her
Pure Thick Balance.
pure fit balance. So like the word perfect, but replace the front part with pure. Pure fit balance online and on Instagram. And seek her out for this if you need this. But then the guides were telling me we need to get key things into Will to fight bacteria within the body. And I'm like, okay, well, we start looking into kombucha. We don't drink kombucha. And it could have very well aggravated the system, but Spirit kept nudging on kombucha for the one time scenario. They said get kombucha as a medicine, nothing with lemon in it, nothing with acidity, but get one. And it's odd because they all have a little bit of caffeine too. But we ended up getting the right one that had limited ingredients and had the right things that he needed. And he started intaking that. So that introduced healthy bacteria into the gut to start fighting whatever else was going on. Then Spirit said, have him take 1 clove of garlic every single day until this clears. Eating raw garlic is very intense. It's very spicy in its own unique way, which Will is fine consuming it like that. But to ease the process, because he was in so much pain, I fermented it in honey. So I put the garlic cloves in some honey. Ideally, you're supposed to fill a jar with honey and then have the cloves ferment in there over time, at least overnight, but up to a few weeks if you can. But we were limited on time and we needed to treat him right away. So we just put a tablespoon of honey and then pushed the garlic into it and had him eat it.
Yeah, yeah, and I found out that I could eat honey again
Yeah,
because we bought this like organic, non I forget the words that they use on it, but it's like completely untouched, straight out of the hive type of
yeah,
honey. And I had to stop eating honey for a long time because the honey was it just didn't taste good, and it, all the stuff that they do to it. And so I actually was like, oh, hey, I like honey now too. But we did that. I was just eating healthier foods and more alkaline foods as we shifted. It was a difficult journey back. Two souls were beautiful enough to show up in the middle of the night to help me while I was sleeping in the back of the car. Bailey was up front. I laid down on my bed in the back, and then these two souls that we met at the show showed up and started doing energetic work, and it was amazing because we had met them that day, and then they popped in, and I knew when I had hugged this one person that they during the day they had felt the pain, and but they didn't say anything. They backed up out of it, and while I was sleeping, they showed up and started doing energy surgery, and then talking to her as well.
yes. They want me to bring back up the food again, the guides do. So we recognized that Will needed to evaluate the acidity in the diet. So I started looking it up and found out that Spirit had been telling me the word alkaline for a while. And I wasn't sure why. And it was, asking us both to get on an alkaline diet. Um, but in this situation, Spirit kept saying neutral foods and alkaline diet. So those are two different things. There is a spectrum, basically, and there's higher acidity, there's neutral in the middle, and then alkaline is on the other end of the spectrum, lowest acidity. This was new information for me. And we needed to get Will more neutral foods and have him kind of following more of that alkaline diet. So we started on that, which was really hard because he started realizing he ate more neutral and alkaline at home. So it's been a bit of a transition. What did you just say before that?
Well, I was eating a lot of foods that were acidic, and we didn't know were acidic. We were
No, no,
surprised.
just now. What were you just saying? Oh, you were resting and
Yeah,
lyric. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we were resting, and some we had some help from other people energetically, and then you were experiencing while I was sleeping.
Right. So while Will was at rest in that instance, because we stopped many times to rest, um, I insisted that I drove most of that way because he was in so much pain. And we experienced two souls that presented at the event come through on an energetic level, insisted that Will lay flat. And I played sound frequency next to him with my phone, just played 174 hertz for pain relief. And then I played 285 hertz for flushing the organs. Okay. Then I played 741 hertz for bacteria cleansing infection as well and boosting immunity. So then those two souls were working on him, and I started hearing information from those souls too. Whereas he thought, when he woke that it was an isolated experience, but I was hearing them as well. And they were asking me to do certain things to assist or participate and to tend to myself. I believe I even got a little bit of work done from them, which I'm super grateful for. And yeah, so go ahead. I think
Uh,
that's it.
yeah, I mean, after that, I came back and I started going on an alkaline diet for the most part, or trying, because it's not easy. There's stuff that you would think isn't acidic, and you find out, hey, it is. Like asparagus is a good one, and so I had to stay away from certain things. And then I had a flare up over the weekend because I decided to eat some food I knew I probably shouldn't have. And uh, it flared up, and we just went straight back to, okay, it's here, let's clear it. But because it keeps happening, what else can I do? So I'm working even more on alkaline diet. I'm doing a medical medium cleanse too, and eating those healthier. I mean, I was eating pretty healthy to begin with, but eating those foods that are not as acidic, like not as much fruit,
Just
not as
eating
much,
balanced.
yeah, balanced.
Well, and they keep saying even right now, neutral foods,
Yeah.
neutral foods. So you really need to eat neutral foods. And I think what the alkaline warning was leading up to this event. We were supposed to hear the word alkaline months ago and start adopting an alkaline diet. And this is what they're saying to me right now. And now that he's having like a flare up or stones or something that's passing through, and also they're telling me to mention garlic is a natural antibiotic. So that's why we implemented daily garlic. It's like taking an antibiotic that you get from urgent care. It's the same. In my intuitively guided receiving of messaging, I'm not a medical professional. Okay. And anyway, back to what you were just saying.
Well, I started eating, watching my diet more. Went out and got a portable blender, which, if you're in the space that I'm in, they have portable blenders you can charge, lifesaver. And just watching the balance and eating things that are, like she said, more in balance. It's not necessarily all alkaline. Even the recipes I'm eating, some of them have the acidic foods I was eating before, but it's balanced to where it's all neutralizing and that sort of thing.
Right, because what I'm learning is that alkaline has low acidity still. So I think to get over this episode that he's dealing with, we really have to only eat neutral until it passes, and then we start introducing an alkaline diet into both of our lives. And then going to the medical medium, I'm a huge fan of the medical medium. I've done a lot of his guidance, and we're doing the liver rescue cleanse, the 369 cleanse right now for Will in a raw advanced way, because there's like a simplified version and advanced version that's more raw, and because he can handle raw foods, that's what he's deciding to do. And I think it's helping you feel better.
Yeah, the cleanse is, uh, it's a cleanse.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of food and a lot of liquids, so your body has to adjust. But it's something that just feels better than eating the other stuff, and feeling better as far as my kidneys go and that sort of thing. I can feel the like where the infection's at and moving, and I haven't had issues with it for a couple days. And so eating it seems to be working. The other thing I'd say is, again, we're not medical professionals. This is just our experience. It's all it's meant to be, is our experience. And I've healed myself because of Bailey. She's a big part of this. With sound frequency multiple times, I've had cysts. People would, if I had called anybody and said, "Hey, I had a kidney infection," they'd be like, "Get to the hospital." And I was like, "I'm not going to the hospital." And we worked through it. We're like, "What do we do to keep me out of there, where they're just going to pump you with fluids
An
and that?"
antibiotic.
And so we were able to come up with things that we were like, "Okay, we're going to try those and see if they work," and they did. Diet, sound frequency, liquids, light language,
Tea,
tea,
herbs.
herbs. Yeah.
We also did some topical healing.
Oh, Ruben has a. So those of you who know Ruben Landon, I always forget if you have a G in there, Ruben. So sorry if I mess it up. Magic Merlin oil. Is that what it's called? Magic Merlin oil that he makes. It is made with, let's say, the sacred plant for now, and we use that as a topical for pain relief and stuff, and that worked really well.
Yeah, his herbal ointment is loaded with a lot of herbs and powerful plant, and he also works with his mother as well, who adds her own touch, from what I understand, from the woman who sold me his creation. but I was urged to buy his healing balm and his oil, his ingestible oil, and I've used both of those on Will as well. So anyway, we just wanted to hop on here and share this information for anybody who might be suffering from the same thing. I'm hearing kidney infection issues and attacks surrounding the kidney area pop up steadily right now. It feels like a collective issue, and I'm going to meditate with my spirit guides and ask them a little bit more about why is this happening, because I remember when we all had a big divine feminine awakening, all of the lower region of the body, the reproductive system, internally and externally, was flaring up, getting symptoms for both men and women. And it was collective. So I'd like to know more because something's fishy about this. You don't get sick very often,
I
ever.
I rarely get sick anymore
Yeah, ever.
since I switched my diet. Yeah, since I've known you, and the uh, the kidneys are a filtration system, so even energetically, we feel like when people were walking in the room, the reason it flared is I was transmuting energy through there, and it just made it 100,000 times worse every time people would walk by me. So there's probably some of that going on collectively too. If you're having those issues of transmuting energy, not only needing to shift diets and those types of things, but understanding the energetics of it too.
Right. There's a spiritual root to everything before it manifests physically. So, what I heard for Will was that he was giving so much to everyone else and not receiving.
Oh yeah.
So, that is the spiritual manifestation of the kidneys losing their function. So, I would look up whatever your issue is, say, what's the spiritual root or the spiritual manifestation of A, B, and C? Start tending to that on an energetic, emotional, and spiritual level. Like I told Will, let's leave, stop giving, and then change everything else physically. Thank you guys so much for listening. We better cap this. It's super
Thank you.
long.
No, it's fine. It's the information is what it's meant to be. Again, we're not medical professionals. It's just our experience, and this will probably go on YouTube or the clips on Instagram. But love you all. Grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you.